Brief History of Pre-Columbian Mexican Civilizations.
In the fertile lowlands of Veracruz and Tabasco, a civilization begins to stir. They do not build pyramids yet, but move mountains of soil to order their world. These colossal heads become portraits of leaders, the first marks of a stratified society. They develop the first writing in the Americas, a private slate for scribes. Their pottery becomes a luxury export, spreading their symbols across Mexico. In Tabasco, glyphs emerge on portable seals, linking names to dates. To the west, the Maya build Aguada Phoenix, the largest pre-Hispanic construction of its time. The site is a cosmogram, designed to track the sun and celebrate the community. Deep in the plateau, they bury offerings in the shape of a cross, honoring the cardinal directions. A debate begins. Was there one mother culture or many sister cultures evolving together? Regardless, they lay the foundation for every civilization that will follow. In the Valley of Oaxaca, a new citadel rises to dominate the southern highlands. Teotihuacan emerges as the greatest metropolis in the ancient Americas. Over 100,000 people live here, drawn by springs and economic power. It is a city of many cultures, from the Gulf Coast to the Valley of Oaxaca. Torrential rains open a secret, a 3-foot sinkhole at the base of a pyramid. Sergio Gomez finds a tunnel sealed by boulders for nearly 2 millennia. Robots navigate the dark, discovering extraordinary symbolic treasures. Beneath the temple, they find a river of mercury, representing the underworld. The tunnel is a physical recreation of the cosmic underworld. Mysterious disco balls litter the chambers, their purpose lost to time. The work is slow and dangerous, a search for the remains of kings. These artifacts were deposited deliberately as offerings to appease the supernatural. Around 300 CE, the city moves toward a more bureaucratic and egalitarian spirit. Deep in the rainforest, the Maya Classic period reaches its glorious zenith. They develop the most sophisticated writing system in the Western Hemisphere. Divine kings, the Ajautak, rule through genealogy and religious authority. Precise calendars track time from a mythical creation date in the distant past. Great temples serve as the tombs of rulers, immortalized in stone. They chart the movements of Venus and the moon with mathematical precision. Every movement of the heavens is recorded in sacred tables. Time is not a line, but a cycle of repeating days and omens. Rulers maintain the cosmic order through ritual and sacrifice. The ball game represents the movement of the sun and mythological battles. High social status is marked by prestige technologies and exotic goods. The stars are a river of life, connecting the living to their ancestors. The Milpa system is the backbone of Maya life, a rotation of forest and field. They burn the vegetation to enrich the thin tropical soil with ash. With simple wooden tools, they plant the seeds of their civilization. Corn, beans, and squash grow together, a partnership of nutrients and shade. On steep slopes, they build contour terraces to trap topsoil and rain. Cross-channel terraces slow the flow of summer storms, creating fertile pockets. In the wetlands, they dig canals to reclaim the marshy soil. They pile swamp muck onto raised beds, creating new arable land. They don't just farm, they compose forest gardens of edible abundance. Reservoirs store the summer rains to buffer the community against drought. At Hoya de Seren, a volcanic eruption preserves their gardens in time. The Maya landscape was not a wilderness, but a cultivated masterpiece. In the 9th century, a series of severe megadroughts strikes the lowlands. Their engineering, built on consistent rainfall, begins to fail. Deforestation and erosion amplify the aridity, stressing the food supply. Resource scarcity triggers endemic warfare between competing city-states. Divine kings fail to deliver on their social promises of rain and abundance. Construction stops. The cessation of inscriptions marks the onset of decline. Peasants and artisans abandon the interior, migrating towards sea trade routes. Commerce shifts from overland trails to seaborne transit. The cities are abandoned, slowly swallowed by the returning jungle. The collapse is not total. Some regions flourish even as the heartland dies. Paleoclimatologists find the evidence of this rupture in the stone of caves. The forest recovers, but the massive population of the interior never returns. The Mexica begin a 2-century pilgrimage toward the Valley of Mexico. In 1325, they find their sign and found the city of Tenochtitlan. Running out of land, they turn the lake itself into a farm. They build fences of reeds to hold back the lake mud. They pile layers of mud and vegetation until a new island rises. The willow roots anchor the gardens and provide shade for the crops. These artificial islands yield up to 7 harvests in a single year. Capillary action provides constant moisture. The farmer never hauls water. Canals become nutrient highways and transportation routes to the markets. The Chinampas feed a massive city of 200,000 inhabitants. Flowers carry religious significance, used in ceremonies and daily life. It is the most powerful Mesoamerican kingdom of all time. Hernán Cortés arrives with 450 men and 16 horses, seeking glory and gold. He finds allies in those oppressed by the Aztec Triple Alliance. A multilingual woman becomes his most valuable asset as a translator. Tlaxcala initially resists, but realizes the Spanish are enemies of their enemies. An enduring partnership is forged that will change history. The emperor welcomes them into the heart of his empire as guests. Within days, Moctezuma is a hostage, used to control his people. The Aztecs rise up. The retreat is a disaster. Hundreds are killed. An invisible ally arrives. A smallpox epidemic devastates the capital. With native help, Cortés builds a fleet to blockade the island city. Famine and disease break the remaining Aztec resistance. On August 13, 1521, the Aztec Empire falls to a coalition of worlds. In the 21st century, a lost world is found on page 16 of a search. Laser pulses see through the jungle, revealing 6,700 hidden structures. They discover Okumtun, a city that snapshots the time of the collapse. The ancient canals remain a refuge for the endangered axolotl. 5,000 farmers still work the gardens that fed the Aztec capital. Ancient agriculture transforms into a modern sanctuary of culture and tourism. They use traditional knowledge and modern science to save the gardens. Urbanization and pollution threaten to turn the last gardens into housing. Every small discovery adds to our understanding of this resilient world. We still stand to learn from these ancient masters of sustainable life. The ruins are a testament to the ingenuity of 1,000 years. Their history is not dead. It is a living cycle, still breathing today.